the Light Institute and the Sanctuary of Light. Welcome each and all of you to this time of knowings, and invite you to bring forward the questions of your hearts so that our conversations can ripple out and support and enlighten and lift all the thousands of people who will listen to our conversations. It's very informal, so please just, any question that's come to you, just bring it forward. Anyone want to begin?
In our meditation, we were just focusing on Nigeria and the horrible events that happened there. Could you talk a little bit about how we can respond to an event like that?
There's so many ways, and that was what was so wonderful in our meditation, is that you never know how your higher self will show you a point of reference in a situation that belongs to you. For example, someone might feel the pain of the bodies or the spirits being entrapped, because when people die violent deaths, their spirits become entrapped in the earth or in the astral dimension. So that might be something that occurs to someone. Someone else might feel the soil, the earth suffering because of the violence. Someone else might feel the fear. Someone else might feel nature or some other aspect of what happened to the people. Someone might feel the wall, the terrible constriction that blocks out human consciousness to those who perpetrated the action. So each one of us, depending on where it is and what is happening, has a frame of reference from our many incarnations and from our own lives that might reference what it is that we should focus on, that allows us, through the power of light, to bring an energy that creates a balancing or dissolves away a crystallization. The universe is made of light. Our bodies are made of light. And so when we wield light at the bequest of some situation or person, in other words, they choose the frequency of light, the speed of that light, then it aligns to them and it allows them to have what they need. Having worked with a lot of killers and literal killers in my lifetime, I know how the spirit suffers, or the soul. The spirit will always say, I'm justified. I'm justified because of the many incarnations, of the many experiences in this lifetime that make someone into a killer. But there will always be that point of pure soul that knows this is not within cosmic law. It's not within the law of permission. And so we can actually touch that place that can open up to allow them to find a way to move through that. Because imagine the karma. And karma can be positive, of course, as well, because it's just the law of cause and effect, action and reaction. But just imagine the rippling out of participating in something like that. In some of these African countries, for their war efforts, they make little children kill each other. They do. To take away from them or numb them to their emotional caring of other people. And so when you bring a light frequency into that being, it awakens something in them. It may be a point of reference that will not bear fruit, so to speak, or change their lives for a month or a year or 10 years or the rest of their lives. But you have allowed a seed that brings them to their own self so that they can move away from those kinds of experiences at some point, this lifetime or another lifetime. And that's what's important. And never think that by just sending light that you're not doing something. It's more powerful than your actions. It's more powerful, much more powerful than your words, because it's the essence of everything that comes into form. And even the whisper of that which is going to come into form. Because light brings the darkness into form. It also brings form into the formless as well. So it's important for ourselves to do that. One of the spiritual laws, we could say, is that everything is connected to everything. That means that the killer out there is a killer in you. One of the ways that we always work with it at Nijoni and the Light Institute, when we see a war or we see something like that, someone would burn 500 people, where is that in me? Because whatever moves on this planet at this time, it's part of our own evolution. It's part of what we're releasing. So people say, well, how terrible, the world is dissolving, it's destructive. Actually what's happening is that the experiences, the energies that have been buried are coming to the surface to be released. And so they replay themselves in a way that triggers our consciousness or triggers our experience, our relationship to them. So when we say, where is the war in me? Or where is the killer in me? And then we find that place in our body and ask, what color does it need to be released? As we release that in us, it's an interesting thing. It allows us to let go of judgment. And that's why at the Light Institute, when we do incarnational work, we're always encouraging someone, go into a lifetime when you were the perpetrator, when you were the killer, when you were the Dark Lord. Because interestingly enough, when you go into that experience, even if you think you're making it up, it frees you from the judgment. It frees you from the separation. I can only be the good guy because if I'm the bad guy, how would I survive? But when we see that we're all the killers, and we're all the healers, and we're all the saints, and we're all the fools, it shifts us. So that then we really can participate in a way that speaks to the soul of someone, rather than you're the bad guy and I'm the good guy kind of energy. And so if we can say, well, where is that in me? And we release it in ourselves, then we are a point of reference for releasing it all over the planet. So it's really consciousness that changes the manifest world. And it's consciousness that changes ourselves. So when we use our consciousness to focus on something, and I think this is an important point to say that it doesn't help a situation when you suffer through sympathy. My higher self is always making this point, that what you want to do is to use the compassion. This is what the Dalai Lama talks about, that the compassion for someone's experience, we call it empathy. I can see what it is that you're going through. But in seeing that, I see your true self. So you are not the victim, you are not the one who I should feel sorry for. No, to the contrary, I uphold the power of your soul to have this experience, because it will only be for good if you could look at it through the infinite hologram of the cosmos. So when we use our consciousness in that high frequency to look at a situation or a person and extend the energy that supports their evolution, it takes us out of judgment, it takes us out of the good and the evil, and it allows us to support the evolution that wants to happen, because all evolution takes us into more perfect harmony. So it's always for the good. Yes?
I think that for me it's really beautiful what you said. There were a few things that all play together, and what it seems is it's not a sign that things are going worse, it's a sign that things are going better.
Yes, and people don't realize that. Imagine, just think, humans have been on this planet for hundreds of thousands of years, millions of years. All life on this planet has been going through that exercise of either being synergistic together, or destroying each other for survival. And so our planet, everything that grows on this planet holds the psychogenetic imprint of all of our evolution. And what's happening now is that we are a powerful soul group. And that's why we're here at a time of change. And so we are a part of that kind of story. So the earth, and my higher self has told this, and the earth has told me this, and the whole astral kingdom, which is the elementals, the animals, the plants, the minerals, all of that have spoken that to me, that the earth is smothering from these experiences, from the imprints that have been laid down over millions of years. And all that's happening right now is the earth itself is shedding them. So as they come up from the earth, they trigger a repetition. If we could recognize that, we would be able to lift ourselves and say, this is what is being released. For example, look at the struggles that are going on in the Middle East right now. Look at the human history. Africa and the Middle East is where the eons of time, our great-great-great-great-great-great-grandparents came from. What did they experience? My God against your God, my tribe against your tribe, survival of the fittest. All of that has been impregnated into the earth. All of that is coming up now. It's coming up to be released. We will resolve it. People are saying, oh, the bad Muslims are doing it to the rest of the world. Excuse me, but your great-great-great-great-great-grandparents did it to the Muslims. And so there's a balancing that's going on, and it doesn't have to be, you killed me, so I'll kill you. Karma really isn't that way. But there is a replay that's going on. And if we can see that, again, I am you. I am the killer. I am the one who was crucified. I am the one that was tortured. I am the one that tortured. Then we can begin to shake ourselves loose and say, we are the ones that free ourselves, our other incarnations, our great-great-great-great-great-grandparents of these imprints, so that the future of humanity will be a humanity of oneness. And that is why we're here, not to hold what happened in the past. And I'm going to say this now because it brings me into this opportunity. I have within my family a person who had the numbers on their arm. And that person always said, we must never forget this, we must never forget this. And my higher self has always said, no, we must go on from that. If you hold that, you will manifest it again. Our consciousness and our minds are so powerful that whatever you hold in your mind, that's what you will see. That's what will be magnetized to you. What we must hold is that echo that said, you are the bringers of light. And we humans are, one and all, the bringers of light. The more that we uphold our humanity, and the highest octave of that, when we truly, as a great guru one time said, see God in each other. As we see the divine in each other, then all of the rest of this stuff will go very quickly. It will go very quickly. We are at that time when you never know. Tomorrow, in this year, in this time, tomorrow, we may have such an influx of light, such a flash of consciousness, that all that is the negative, that all that is held in fear, that all that is the sorrow and the death could disappear. That is why we are here. That is the purpose of us. And so it matters not how you do that. Whether you take up an instrument and touch the soil, whether you speak from your words, whether you embody peace, whether you hold your fist and say, I will not allow it, it will not be so because I am here. In whatever way you do it, you will contribute to a new world. And so we do want to recognize that we are the agents of change. It's why you were born. People are always saying, what is my purpose? I can tell you, one sentence, you are the agent of change. Where will it begin? It will begin inside you. It will begin inside you. And that will convey more than any words you have, than any doing that you do, but that presence within you that says, I am here. I am here. And that is my purpose, because it is. I wrote that book, The Evolution of God, for that reason, to say to all of humanity, it is not what you do, it is not what you say. It is the consciousness that you hold, it is the breath that you breathe in and the breath that you breathe out that changes not only our planet, but our solar system, truly, and our cosmos. So thank you.